Hello. So I have realized that I did not film an intro for my Hutch upcycle video. So here we are. I bought a Hutch for $40 off of Kijiji. It's something I'd been wanting a while for a coffee bar. And as much as I loved the natural wood and how it looked, I thought it would be fun to give it a give it a makeover and see just if I could do it. And this is how it turns out. So let's get right into the video. All right, first things first is removing everything that you have on the hutch off of the hutch. You want to make sure you have a really nice clean base to get started with. So I'm taking off all the decor, all my little jars. I'm drinking an iced coffee, taking off my coffee machines. I'm almost dropping things all over the ground. It's honestly, truly an experience. So make sure your coffee hutch is completely clean. As you can see, I'm just moving the hutch so that I can sand it all the way around. In theory, I don't need to worry about the back, but I'm a completionist, so I will be doing the back, I will be doing the insides, or it will really bother me. So I'm doing everything. Next step is to sand everything down. So make sure you take off any doorknobs. I'm doing that here. Put on friends in the background and just really make sure you have something for the paint to grip on. So something to keep in mind is that I did buy chalk paint, so I wasn't being too in-depth with my sanding because chalk paint is naturally a bit more grippy than regular paint. So if you were going to be using regular paint, I would recommend sanding a lot more intensively. I was just trying to get a general all around something. So just a little not pro tip. If you are like me, you will want to clean as you go, so I'm just vacuuming up any excess sanding dust. Casualty, there's a splinter and I just stabbed my thumb. Can you see? It's bleeding. It's a good thing I'm not Sleeping Beauty or I'd be dead. Oh, it hurts. Okay. I'm watching A Midsummer Night's Dream, so I'm gonna finish vacuuming the doors to get the layer of dust off so that it kind of looks like the rest. I did find a few, like here is where I had to sand because it stabbed me, and back here I had to sand but it's a lot softer now. So hopefully that helps the paint go on a lot smoother. So that's pretty much it for day one. In theory, if I had the paint, I could probably like just get it all done, but I don't have the paint yet. So now that I've sanded, I literally have to put everything back and then take it all off again when I want to paint. But you know, step by step, I wanted to get started. So step one complete. Hello! Okay, so I know I look like a cowboy, but I just went to Home Depot and I don't have my masks yet, so this was the look. So I just went to Home Depot and I got my painting supplies, and I thought I would do a little haul before I get started. So I did a little bit of research, and indeed chalk paint is the way to go. So I was kind of nervous because at Home Depot they only seem to have spray chalk paint, and I wasn't about to bring this outside. So I was like, oh my gosh, am I gonna have to put like garbage bags on the walls and like create like a tent, like I don't know. But they had one left of this color in the like paint form. So this is the brand Rust-Oleum. So then I got this Bare Wax in clear just to go on top because it is my coffee hutch and there's gonna be a lot happening. I thought it would probably be a good idea to get just some sealant. Then I grabbed this Deco Art metallic acrylic paint for the metal bits. I hope this is enough. I think it will be. I think it'll be. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. And then I got 2 paintbrushes. So I got this little one for the middle. Hopefully this is okay. I do also have a sponge brush somewhere. So I do have like a sponge if I feel, I mean, granted this side is completely hardened, but I have a sponge brush if I feel like it needs that. So I didn't want to buy a sponge brush. And then I got just a bigger paintbrush because the thought of doing the whole Hutch with a paintbrush this size was a no from me. That's that. So let's dive into the painting. So we are starting off day 2 strong. As you saw, we had grabbed the paint. It's also time to use painter's tape and tape off any of the edges that I don't want to be that baby blue color that I chose. So I'm really just getting all the details as much as I can so that I don't have to worry about being super precise when painting the wood, just because that's not what I want to do. Truly, I didn't know how much of this to record. I filmed literally the entire thing. But as you can see, I'm just painting all of the little corners and crevices. I ended up doing about 2 coats. It didn't come out fully 100% opaque. It had a bit of a worn, rustic look to it, but I really did enjoy that. So here you can just see me painting the Hutch. I hope this is super interesting for you. Definitely. So I'm actually semi-rethinking. So before I was looking for like a pretty much completely solid color, but if you look at this with 2 coats, it really, you can see a few thinner areas. And it just really makes it look like, again, when you buy those refurbished items at like a thrift store or vintage store and the paint's kind of, it looks like it's worn away. And I actually really like that look. So like obviously I'm not going to keep it like this one. That's way too much. But I think that this is opaque enough, but you can still see a few brush strokes and it just makes it look really cool and vintage. So on the inside you can see I'm not too worried about it being absolutely perfect on the ground. I did try to cover some of the spots that were more see-through. Same with the insides of doors. And so that's kind of what I'm trying there, is like making sure it's not too sheer, but it's more the outside. I want to save the paint for the outside. So I'm down to maybe 1/3 of the paint. I still have to get done this outside door, this entire cabinet, both coats, and then the top shelf, and the 2 sides I still have to do. So, wish me luck. But this is a lot of work. So just a heads up, like, this is a lot of work. Things are drying, so I'm going to get started on the gold. So I've done a little test of the gold, and you can see it didn't do much, but it did add a little bit of a sheen. So I'm just going to do maybe 1 or 2 coats around, and I think it'll give it enough of a gold sheen that I'll be satisfied. But this is how it's looking. It is still, you can see a little bit of the wood through, but I think it just gives it, like I said, that antique-y look. I'm really happy with how it's looking, and I'm excited for the grand reveal. So again, this is what it looks like. I'll show you again after I wax it, but I need to let it sit for at least 2 hours before I use the sealing wax. The sealing wax, not sealing wax, sealing. Quickly film before the light goes away, but you can kind of see it has a gold sheen, which I'm really liking. If you get really close up, you can see it's like streaky, but I think I might just leave it like this. I don't know, maybe I'll do another coat, but I don't want it to get too opaque. So we'll see. It's really exhausting. This part is really hard to get not streaky. I don't know if there's a way to like do it better. I haven't done these bars yet, but all right, so as you can see, I've put it back in position and now I'm decorating it. I have my coffee bar signed by Ray Dunn from Winners. The first little cloth that I put was, my mom gave it to me from Brazil, and then I put these two placemats from Winners just to give a little bit of color underneath my coffee machines and also to prevent scratching the paint and things like that. So they're just yellow with some flowers, and then I'm putting my Nespresso machine and my Keurig and plugging those in and making sure that the Hutch is in a position that I like. I then have a little dish to put my spoon and my little compost for any excess beans and my coffees and powders. So I have a coffee, a flavored coffee, I have an espresso jar, I have apple cider, chai latte powder, and a candy cane hot chocolate powder. Those are what I use on the regular. As you can see underneath, I have extras of teas and matcha and all that kind of stuff. I then put my flavor syrup. The one I have currently is just a simple syrup sugar flavor. And then I'm putting a maple syrup. I have a little shot jar to measure how much flavor I want to put into it. I have a faux cactus, and then my little chicken is from Portugal, and then I do have a tiny little one that was my great grandma's from Brazil next to the cactus. I'm then getting a couple of mugs, a Mr. and Mrs. mug for styling. I then put my mug tree back for the future, but for now, just the Mr. and Mrs. mug, since Roman and I were getting married shortly. And this is the final clip of how it looks. I'm really happy with how it turned out. Good morning. So the Hutch is done. It is the next day. In reality, I did get it done in one day, and I could have gotten the decor and everything done in a day, but it got late and it was getting kind of dark out. Sorry, I literally just woke up like 10 minutes ago, so I'm feeling a little yes, so it was getting kind of dark, so filming it would have been hard to see, so I wanted to wait until it was light out so that you could see everything properly. So let's take a peek at the Hutch and then we'll decorate it. Here she is in all her glory. I think it turned out so great. I think the gold actually turned out perfect. Like I said, if you get really close, you can see that it's kind of patchy, but I think it just gives that nice antiquated look, kind of like the gold on the handles. And maybe one day I'll do another coat of gold, but I think overall it turned out super nice. It's a really great statement piece, and let's decorate. And that is the Hutch. As you'll see, I've decorated a little bit differently for fall and for Christmas. You'll get a peek at that in my Christmas decor video, which should be the next one. But I'm so happy with how it turned out. I get compliments all the time, and trust me, if I'm able to do this upcycle, you are too. It's something I was staring at for months before I finally just got up and was like, I'm just gonna do this. So definitely, if you have that project that you've been waiting for, take this as your sign to go and do it and do the project. It took about 2 or 3 days, 3 days by the time I finally decorated it, like I mentioned, for lighting. But it really could have been done in a day. I just took my time with it. So I encourage you to go out and do the same. It was so fun. I watched Friends. I watched A Midsummer Night's Dream. It was great. I'm rambling, but I hope you enjoyed, and I hope this was kind of helpful to you. If you have any questions of products I used or anything like that, don't hesitate to ask, and I hope you have a great November. Bye.